guys, welcome back to Planet Tyro. I'm your host Donald Wonder. Wow, what a ride. Now I'm going to have to apologise straight off the bat. This is one of the few times where I'm going to do a recording straight after completing the show. Mad Men just finished a day ago and I'm recording this right after watching it, so I'm not even going to have the time to get into all the characters or the acting or the plots. I could do a 2-hour podcast probably with nuances about the intricacies of the show when I'm just not going to do the show justice. I just want to say that beforehand before I get any complaints. I know I could have done this more constructively, but to be honest with you, in some ways this story is very basic and doesn't need a grandiose review discussion. But to be honest with you, I like to keep it short for you guys, and I'm just going to give you my overall thoughts and cover as much as I can.
Tyro Media.
Guys, we're talking about Mad Men. Mad Men is a period piece drama about these people, employees that work in the advertising agencies in the late 50s, and it's an interesting take on these people, their lives, the company. That's it basically. It spans 7 seasons, and 7 or 8 seasons, and it was written by Matthew Weiner, who actually was a producer and a writer on The Sopranos and was preparing this show near the end of The Sopranos run. So he's had experience in TV before, and he came to make this show, which has been hailed to being groundbreaking, sexy, have a lot of style, phenomenal acting. And my take on it is the hype is for real. It went on for a while. It had its own problems, production problems, which we're going to get into. But now that I've just finished it, I have to admit, man, I'm pretty much floored by this show. And I really applaud this show for not being, I don't know, it has a certain attention to detail in what it's doing that you don't see in TV a lot. Quality detail. This is one of the best character-driven stories I've seen on television in a while. It's funny because when I first heard about this series, it already had a lot of hype, and I think I jumped on it on the second season. My sister actually persuaded me to watch this, and upon first watching it, it just seemed so mundane. It was like I said, it was set in the late 50s, and it looked really nice, seeing everyone in their zoot suits, and it was very sexy, had a lot of style, but the dialogue was just meh. The whole show was just very slow, and to be honest with you, even through the whole show, it's very slow and somewhat procedural, but it's based on its characters. And because we're in this advertising agency with these employees, I just thought meh. Only until the end of the first season did I really get invested with the characters and the subplot. Now, most of the actors in this show have done other things. We've seen them before. We've seen that lady from Firefly. We've seen that guy from Desperate Housewives. We've seen these actors. The main standout here is the main focal character, who is Donald Draper, who is John Hamm. This show put him on the map, just cinematically, everything. His acting is superb. His gravitas for this character is awesome. We get to see this guy, this advertising genius, work his magic in the business world, in his personal life, and we get to see him from many different angles. We get to see a cool character, then we get to see the character behind the scenes in his inner workings, and we get to see him flawed at his lowest. And this show does such a great character analysis on this one guy, Donald Draper. Now, funny enough, a lot of people think that he's an empty suit, he's a soulless man. It's all about perspective. I liked him for the most part, and I thought he was very three-dimensional. And even though he's the main protagonist in the show, the other characters all get their time to shine. This show does a great job in balancing all these characters, and I don't have the time to get into every single actor, and I would love to, but what I will say is, at the time, the late 50s, sexism was rampant and females were not having a lot of job roles, they were mostly known for secretaries. This show does such a great job with the female cast. these two actresses right here, which I put the names on the screen, they do such a good job at showing you the different sides of sexism, the beauty side and the, I don't know, the work side, the people just not seeing you as a woman. I mean, I'm not explaining myself very well, but these two do such a great job on polar opposites for women, and their storylines, their subplots are so captivating all the way until the end. It's explored so well. I think this show has done some of the best female analysis and just a good history lesson on sexism and equality and socialism, and get into that. Because it's a period piece, we get a lot of things in the past. We get to see a lot of things with the riots, Martin Luther King, racism, as I said, sexism, sexuality, sex. I mean, it touches so many basic, it executes things so well, but at its core, it's a character piece. And most of the time, you're in advertising agencies, you're just in these buildings with these people talking. And I was won over, man. I was won over by the acting, I was won over by the characters. Putting that to the side, they have some good subplots to do with a lot of the corporate backstabbing, Donald Draper just winning these contracts, and there's a lot of psychology in the show, showing you how back in the day they used to, well, not manipulate the audience, but how they used to view the public and how they create these adverts and how they affected us or how they thought we would attune to it back in the day. And a lot of it applies to now, but I'd rather see this back in the day, because now, advertising now, we've seen, I think Ugly Betty was another show about the advertising agency or whatever. We see a lot of these shows now, and I'm not really interested in advertising in 2015. It's very, yeah. But back in the day, it's very interesting. We get an inside look at these characters. There's so many characters, so many flavors. I feel like I'm rambling, but it's such a good character piece, man. They just focus so much on the characters through these 7 years. But apart from that, the cinematography, the way this show is shot is gorgeous. It's colourful, it's vibrant, the set designs are great, the sets themselves look good, the costume design, the way they look at the time, beautiful, sexy ladies, sexy looking guys. It was a fun show to watch on so many levels, and artistically it's beautiful. Speaking of that, this show has one of the most iconic TV openings of all time. It's very retro, it's very cool, and everyone speaks about this is going to be one of the most unforgettable show openings. Just that little 1 minute opening is so cool and just, again, puts this show on a class of its own. Now, I can dick ride the show forever and tell you how good the show is, but what don't I like about the show? Not that much. Like I said before, the show is slow. It's a slow burn, and most people found the show boring for the most part. I can see that, but I will say, if you get through season 1, I think the characters and subplots will hook you. Apart from the slowness, it did have a hiatus. I think it was between season 5 or 6 or something. It was an 18-month hiatus where the show just was not on television. And to be honest with you, a lot of people thought the show was done. I thought the show was done. And even when it stopped there, I was happy with it. I still thought it was a good show. It ended in an interesting place that I thought, you know what, even if it ended here, it was fine. But it came back, finished 2 or 3 seasons, and when it ended, man, the ending was really well done. It just cemented this was always a character piece, and we get to explore all of these characters, the men, the women, the children, the time, the age, the passage of time. This show has done so much good for television, and I believe HBO dissed the show because I don't know if they pitched it to HBO first and HBO passed on it and it went to AMC, but either way, this felt like a HBO show, and it was just done excellently. So what more can I say? That it's a first class show. The only thing I'm going to hold it back on is that it's slow. It is a slow burn, it's a character piece, and it doesn't have a lot of destinations in the show. But all these years I've been watching the show, I honestly loved it. There's a lot of psychology, there's a lot of character analysis. One of the best, as I've ranted on and on about, character-wise, character developed show I've seen in years. John Hamm, his performance is just magnificent, as well as everyone else's, but the gravitas he has is really something special. And this show is going to sit as one of the best shows ever made. And to be honest with you, I can see why. It might not be in my top shows of all time, and I'm putting myself out there by saying that, even though I'm praising it so much. But I still think it's a fantastic show. 7 seasons. I would recommend it to everyone with the caveat. Get through the first season, I think you're going to get a good payoff, beginning to end. And the last scene that I just finished watching was such a good wink wink nudge nudge to something that I don't want to spoil, but it wrapped up perfectly. And I love a show that can just wrap up and leave a good taste in your mouth, because other shows like just make you feel like, what the hell was I watching? So let me leave it there. Mad Men, first class. But guys, you know, I want to know what your thoughts about Mad Men are. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Did you like Mad Men? Did you stop watching it? Because a lot of people did stop watching it when they went on that hiatus. I would say go back and finish it if then. If not, I think this is a great show that might not be for everybody, but I honestly think if you get past the first season, that's it. So I do hate dick riding shows and saying how great they are, but this one, honestly, I felt was consistent. Regardless of the hiatus, I just felt it had a consistent amount of quality for all these years. And let me just stop there. So guys, I ramble on a lot about media because I love media. I love this new age of cinematic television. And Mad Men has a lot of props to putting that forward through television history. And I just want to say, if you like the reviews, hit that subscribe button to get more reviews like this straight to our YouTube channel. Hit that thumbs up button if you like the discussion we just had. And as you can see on the screen, we've got a lot of videos from different types of medias like animation, books, TV shows. I'm going to do more books. I've always said that because it's time to stop television. My eyes are starting to hurt with all this TV. But until then, guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Peace out.